Oh, hello there.
Hi, I'm Max. How's it going?
Oh, not so bad yourself.
Yeah, good, thanks. So welcome to season 2 of the RSD Smash Hits interviews. Tonight my guest is filmmaker Max Rendall from Sleeper.co. So how did this film and malarkey kick off for you? And where did the name Sleeper.co come from?
So the whole film malarkey started pretty much as soon as we started riding. Like, we all picked up our bikes and I picked up a camera as well. I just wanted to see us and ourselves riding as soon as we started riding. So that'll be about 6 years ago now.
All right.
So not that long.
No,
and
no.
we started down a railway embankment in our little village here. So I was trying to think of names for a sort of a brand that we could identify with, and I was thinking of how we started on a railway, and I thought of the word sleeper. And then I thought, well, sleeper is a word that's associated with people that are sort of underneath the radar, that people haven't heard of, that are like super talented. Like in Whistler and stuff, you would see people fly by that you've never heard of, and you'd be like, oh, he's a total sleeper, because he's just like sending it and nobody's heard of him. Super low key. So I thought that was a quite appropriate name, because I'd like it to be a platform for people to, I suppose, like get their name noticed. So the whole idea was that I would provide a platform for all these sleepers to get off the ground, essentially. So that was the philosophy behind it.
Good idea.
But it's turned into a sort of take on the whole dreams and like sleeping and like chasing your dreams and sort of envisioning what you want and going out and getting it, sort of thing.
Yeah. And that's really kind of what you're doing now.
That's what we're trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to lead by example, and it was a good thing with the whole Reese and the whole dreams coming true video, because that sort of embodied what we're about, going out and getting what you want.
Yeah, cool. And you started off back in the day, as it were, just using GoPros and stuff like that?
Yeah, just anything. I got a GoPro Hero 2 for my Christmas, and that was like the best gift on the planet ever. So I was wearing it everywhere I went. I was mounting it on the side of my helmet, the top of my helmet, on my chest, on my shoe. I would like duct tape it to my feet and stuff, like just real
all the different angles.
Stupid stuff. So yeah, it was always writing and then filming to see us all writing, and it just sort of went hand in hand, and it's tumbled into a way where I just enjoy telling stories now about what's going on.
Yeah, cool. So as well as doing the cameras, you like doing the bikes and all. Can you remember when you learnt to ride a bike?
I was in my back garden. Used to live in Musselburgh.
Right.
We were on a seaside sort of flat. I was in my back garden, and we had those sort of push buggies, which I was addicted to. And I remember my dad telling me that you're gonna have to get out of these buggies and actually ride a bike. And I was real hesitant, because I was in love with these buggies, because you could roll them and you would be all right. So I just used to love rolling them. But eventually I got on the bike with stabilizers, and I think it took a very short space of time for me to get the stabilizers off, and then that was it really.
Never looked back. So do you
Never
remember your first mountain bike as well?
That was
like a proper one.
I think it was a rally. It was red anyway. And it was just your run of the mill Halfords job. But my dad took lots of pride in knocking the Halfords boys down in their price, and they were very easy targets for that. So he would walk in and he would walk out with 90 quid off of a 200 quid bike or something like that. So
he was good at the haggling.
He was good at the haggling, yeah.
Good stuff. So you've competed in like SDA, Mini DH, BDS, and Scottish Champs downhill events. How does the nerves on the start line compare with lining up for the gap jump at Angerflat last Friday in front of your new fan club?
Oh, very, very similar. Very similar. It's the same feeling across the board, really.
Yeah.
It's like you're about to do something that requires your, I don't know, like full attention, concentration, and there's a risk involved. So it feels roughly the same, and you just get used to the feeling of feeling that way, and you just accept that you're going to be nervous and you're going to be scared. And I always say that if you're scared, you're in the right place, sort of thing. So, yeah, very similar.
Sorry. So
You're so popular.
I wish. So, like, on that front, have you any tips for, say, young ones maybe who's going to watch this? Like, in that situation, because you got to see the guys firsthand at Angler Flat last week, and they're thinking, Max can do that now. And there's a couple of them thinking about it now. Do you think start small,
yeah,
go big, or?
I would say work up to it. Know where you are in comparison to everybody else, and don't be ashamed at your level. Just accept where you are and then go for the next step forward from that. You'll know where that is. So I would just take it step by step and just enjoy it. If it's not fun, and if you feel like you're pushing something and you might hurt yourself, then just take a chill out. And if it's not fun, then stop. It's supposed to be fun, so that's what it's all about.
Yeah, cool. Theoretically, if a shark and a lion had a fight, who would win?
I think the shark would win. But
Obviously
it depends.
Happen,
yeah, well, it depends on the environment. If they're in water, if they're in water, either or they're going to be. But in a theoretical scenario where you've got a halfers between water and land, and they've got an equal chance, I still think the shark would.
Take
I think the shark would take it because of the bigger mouth and the. I think the movement is just ridiculous on a shark. They can dart around the place. Yeah. But that would be I would like to see that.
Pay-per-view, maybe.
Pay-per-view.
It could be
I'd buy it anyway.
It could be next on the Sleeper.co.
That'll be it.
Wildlife
nature documentaries. Fantasy nature documentaries.
Let's get it one. If you were to describe your current mood, what colour would it be?
Current mood? Orange. Because I feel warm.
You feel warm?
I feel warm with that heater on. Yeah.
It's quality, that heater. Fort William World Cup this year was a bit special for many reasons, to say the least, thanks to mainly to Mr. Wilson. You documented it on film, we touched on that earlier, Dreams it was called, which was very moving mainly because everyone was greeting. But the music was apt as well. How do you choose music for your edits and films and that?
So I'll sit up at nights and I'll stockpile sounds and music and effects and things that move me and make me think of things in my head. So these can, like, all over the place, I'll be looking for music and sounds that inspire me. And I had that song set in for quite a while, and I kept going back to it just to listen to it because it was so intense, and I was trying to think of a scenario to use that. I couldn't come up with one. And then after I got home after Fort William, we were obviously all feeling a certain way, and it just worked. It really worked for that one scenario. So yeah, it was an emotional time.
Oh, wow.
To say that I, like, as much as everybody cried watching it, I cried a lot making it as well. So it was like, I would get 5 minutes in and I would rewatch it and I would, like, be greeting, and then I would, like, start another little section and then I would rewatch the whole thing and, like, greet again. So it was a really cool experience, and I'm glad that I made something that had that effect on people.
Yeah, it did. Like, and when we watched it later on during the week, it brought back great memories because I was there. And for me personally, coming off the hill for the Visit Scotland jump, once we realised Reese had gone fourth, they were playing AC/DC, You Should Go All Night Long. And for me, that was the first song my son sang, all the way through in his wee chair in the back of the car. Yeah. So I was like, I'm getting goosebumps now, look. Just thinking about the whole thing. And then meeting Reese after, and it was just amazing. What a brilliant feeling, like.
Yeah.
So it was just then seeing your movie after, and it was like brought back great memories.
It was a bit of a trip, that whole scenario.
It was amazing, amazing. Little Mix or Spice Girls?
I've not listened to much Little Mix, so I'm gonna just have to go with Spice Girls.
Spice Girls.
Just because I was into them to the point where I wouldn't admit it to everybody around me. I was big into Pink as well. Pink was my jam back in the day. Although that's not
Scotland next year.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I would go and see her. Pink, if you're watching, please.
She might be.
You never know.
You never know where these things go. Do you know anyone called Farquhar?
Oh no, brilliant name though.
It's quality, isn't it?
I mean, the guy off Shrek, obviously.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I should maybe call my first child Farquhar. Farquhar
Cool.
Rendall. How
What a name,
how does that sound? That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
You've not got a middle name of that.
I do, yeah.
You do. No.
It's Muir.
Muir.
Muir. So I always hated that name, and everybody used to call me Manure. And it used to hurt me pretty deep. So, but I'm over it
Getting
now.
back now. So what is your current favourite discipline when doing the bikes? You do quite a lot. You do skate park, mountain bike, jumps, so on.
I must admit that BMX has really sort of taken me over. I've always been one to never really stick with one particular genre, and anything that I know that I'm not very good at, I'll go for that.
Right.
And for me, that was always skate park, because obviously I started on base, so I was pretty good at riding bikes fast. I was never so good at the tricks or anything like that. So I got a BMX not too long ago, and that's been a total eye-opening experience for me to try and wrap your head around something that's similar in that you're on a bike but completely different.
Yeah.
And that's been really, really fun. And I like how black and white it is. It's like you've not landed the trick or you've landed the trick. It's not like you watch somebody come down a hill and you can see there's a different style and but everybody's doing the same sort of path, whereas it's really black and white. It's like you've done the trick or you've not. So I really like that aspect about it. But I constantly rotate them all, so I love all of them equally. But yeah, BMX at the moment is my current, and especially since we're coming into winter, being indoors. Indoors is nice.
We'll not see much at Kelso Skate Park in the winter.
No, you'll see me a lot there in the summer though. A lot there in the summer. But scooters as well. Yeah, scooters as well. We started on scooters. Me and Reese used to bug our parents to take us up to Edinburgh and so we could ride scooters at the old Transgression. So that was always one of our original passions. So Reese's came back around to it this year as well. So it's been funny this year because we've got back into scooters, and it's just makes you realise that you never sort of lose the ability for any of these things. But it's all the same thing, and to say that you don't like one of the disciplines, I think all of them should be appreciated equally. But it's difficult to find yourself in a scenario where you can do them all. Yeah,
and do you think like they each help each other?
Absolutely, they're all what's the word? They're all relevant to each other.
Yeah.
They can all it's all commitment, and it's all learning new things.
Yeah,
it's always pushing yourself, and it's all physical, and it's just about making the thing in your head happen in reality. So it's the same across the board really. And I feel like after I finished riding loads of BMX, I went back to mountain bikes and felt better than ever. So I don't think it's wasted time, regardless of what you're doing.
Yeah, cool. So do you have any plans to race next season?
I really want to, yeah. It just depends on schedules, because obviously filmmaking requires quite a lot of my attention, and when I'm out and I'm filming, I'm really focused on that. I would like to do more races, but I have a feeling that I'll be documenting quite a few next year.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it pans out. But I would love to do more, especially the Scottishes, because that needs to be supported.
True.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. If you and Reese had an arm wrestle, who would win?
I don't know. Reese has got
even when he's fit.
Reese has got pretty big shoulders when he's fully fit. Yeah. So I'm gonna say Reese, just because he's always had a bit stockier shoulders. But there are many disciplines which I could beat him at. So we'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. That's fair enough. Golf or cricket?
Golf. I like a bit of golf, but I've only really been to the driving range. I've not been for a full. I shouldn't say that I'm into golf, because
you prefer it between the two though.
I would. Definitely. Yeah. I think cricket's way too complicated for me. It's not simple enough. Yeah. Like, it's like mountain bike is like, who's the fastest person to get from A to B? It's it's simple. Yeah. That's why it works in my head. But anything that like cricket that's got that many rules, it doesn't vibe with me. So
fair enough.
Golf.
And it takes 5 days, like for a test match. You're like,
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
You get 1 day ones as well, but there's 5 days as well.
Too much.
So when you and the lads go out to film and edit, is it pre-planned, or do you just like wing it mainly on the day? and you have something in your head, right? We're going to go see you went in Inverness a couple of weeks ago. I don't think you really knew what it was like. Turned up and just right, film here, do this, do that.
So far, it's been pretty unplanned. I've been allergic to planning thus far, so
Right.
I'll just leave the house with the camera and just try and capture. And we may make plans on the way up there or come up with an idea, but for the most part, it's been unplanned. Apart from like the new bike day video, which was somewhat imagined in my head and planned in my head beforehand. But I'm definitely going to get more into sort of scripting and making videos of all sorts. I've got a few exciting things that I'll be up to over the next year or so, which will require more planning because they're just bigger projects.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly unplanned, and I think that's the rawest way to do it. If you're gonna just leave, that's the first way that you should do it. You know what I mean? You should always just leave with no plan and just sort of film whatever happens and then go back and try and piece it together, and so that you can understand what to do next time. It's just a big learning process. So yeah.
Cool. So now you did your first backflip on dirt the other day on the rayon.
Oh, buzzing with that.
What goes through your mind when you drop in to do a trick like that? Because I saw the video on Instagram and he did it a few times. And it's like flip. No, literally, but it was like, oh, God. And then he got it and you're like, yay! So when you're ready to drop in, is it sky ground? Well, it's only sky and ground once, really, isn't it?
I'll try and visualize it with something like that where you're like, you really don't want to suffer the consequences.
No.
You want to try and visualize it and visualize
Positive.
timing it correctly. So I'll sit at the top and I'll like roll on my bike and I'll pull off the back, do a manual and look up to the sky and then just jump off the back of the bike, and that's just me sort of imagining that I'm about to do it. So I really do. I believe in the visualization process. I think it's almost as good as physically doing it as imagining it in your head. So I'll just visualize it, and then when it comes to actually doing it, a lot of nerves, a lot of sort of sweaty palms, and then there's always a moment where you're just sat at the top and you just have to go, right, okay, stuff it. You just got to do it. There's always that moment where it's like a breakthrough where you're just like, right, I've just got to go.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll talk yourself out of it. So. Yeah.
It must have been quite a feeling though, because
it's great.
A backflip's the trick, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's like, you've done a backflip. Which is funny because there's so many other things that I've done that's way more difficult. Like like the manual bar I did on a BMX the other day. Like that took way more attempts and was more painful overall to do, but it looks like not very spectacular to people.
Yeah.
So a backflip is like a staple thing. So.
Well, like Josh Bryson was trying bars the other day for the first time.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
The amount of times he fell, and I realised how sore it is. Just it looks simple.
Yeah.
But
Reese was the same. He was doing them hot bars. He had a bit of a process to get his as well. So there's always a bit of suffering to go along with it.
Yeah. So will we be seeing the Rendall decade in the skate park soon then next year?
A Rendall decade.
You know the decade.
Yeah.
The BMX, is that going to happen? Do you think? Is that the
I mean,
next step up?
Yeah, is
So
decade.
explain
That's your
to the
trick,
viewers
is it
what
not? Is it your favourite trick?
It's my favourite trick to watch. Right.
It's
We'll
a
try and
pretty
explain
satisfying
what
trick.
the decade is.
Yeah, so you're going to do a tail whip, but instead of the bike moving around, your body's going to move around the bike. So you're doing a 360, but your bike's staying straight. And I don't know, because I've not done a tail whip yet.
Right.
So Gavin Hamilton along the road's done a tail whip, so he'll be closer than me with that.
All right.
But I mean, potentially. It's not on my list, but it might be now.
We had a quick chat about it last year, right off in the skate park. Just like something I like watching. I thought, decade, how cool would it be to do that? Because it's not actually, as you say, it's not moving the bike, it's you going round the bike. Right? But hopefully, next year.
Yeah. I mean, Johannes, I think we did a decade to bar to whip. That was nuts. There was a lot of combinations with decades in them that are ridiculous.
I watched a bit of Adolf Silva nines.
Oh yeah,
nines the other night. He did a Superman bar and back on.
Okay, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
So just with the one hand and then chuck it, catch, back on.
Back on again.
Mad.
That was a bit mad.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm flat next time. Board shorts or budgie smugglers?
Board shorts all the
Board
way.
shorts all the way.
Yeah, budgie smugglers are out.
Aye,
Although
they so last year.
They might come back. My dad actually wears like just regular pants, and I wear boxers, and it just annoys me the fact that he still wears them. Because boxers are just way more comfortable. I don't understand why you want everything to be held up in that way. It needs to be hanging.
Does he tuck his shirt into his pants? Though? He's not at that age yet.
He does when he's dressed a certain way, and he does actually most of the time because it's warmer. He's a practical man.
Like not into the trousers, but into the pants.
Oh no, not into the pants.
Ah.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But into the trousers all the time.
I've seen that in some changing rooms over the years when I played cricket or football or that.
Yeah.
Guys tucking their shirt out at the bottom of the pants.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
not a great thing. So you've been on occasion to ride or race wearing a Hawaiian shirt, or more famously the pink shirt you wore in the Max Attack video a couple of years ago, and the Shredder article in 2016, I think. It was the same time, wasn't it? Do you consider yourself to be a fashion icon in the MTB world, or is it just like how you?
I've never had like a solid kit sponsor, and I would always just appreciate when somebody wore something different and stood out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose so. I have to consider myself a fashion icon, but yeah, the pink shirt was just purely for aesthetic with the pink smoke as well, and I think it worked out pretty well, and I think it was a good it was a good look into my sort of take on the mountain bike scene. So just about wearing what you want to wear as opposed to just copying. And people spend so much money on kit, like they'll buy the full fluorescent Troy Lee kit, and that's all fine and well, but it's like, it costs a lot of money at the end of the day, and it goes out of date instantly because they just bring out the new colours and everybody flocks to the new colours, and the cycle's real quick, and I just think it's just marketing at the end of the day. So it doesn't actually matter. So I would like people to just sort of pay less attention to the bike that they've got and the kit that they're wearing, and just go out and ride their bikes. So I suppose that's what it kind of represents. So you'll always see me wearing skinny jeans and stuff like that as well, just because I just think it looks better for the most part.
It's cooler. I thought I might have seen the pink shirt up there in a frame or something.
Framed. That's what we need to do.
You should. It's quite famous. Does the path of excess lead to the palace of wisdom?
The path of excess. Does the path of excess lead to the palace of wisdom? I wouldn't say so. No.
Right.
You don't need excess to be wise. You need nothing. Like, does the wisdom and excess are not linked at all. You can have nothing and still be greatly wise.
Good answer. I like that. What's the best phrase you've picked up in another language?
What is the Mikasa Sukasa? My house is your house? I don't know. I don't know many phrases in other languages. No, I'm gonna have to just go with that.
That's fine.
Because that's the only one that came to mind.
That's fine. Can you bite your own toenails?
I used to be able to. I don't know what kind of stage I'm at now.
Right.
But yeah, I used to get my feet behind my neck and stuff, so I could probably do that. But I don't know about now.
No, I'm not on a demonstration. So wrapping up then, what does the future hold for Max Rendall and Sleeper.co?
A lot more expanding. I think I'll just continue doing what we're doing, but on a larger scale, and hopefully over the course of the next year or so, make it into somewhat of a employment situation. Make it a full time thing. So there's a few things brewing, but yeah, just more of the same, just more progression from me, riding wise and filming wise, and just trying to tell stories in better detail, and just making films that are more impactful, that have actual sort of meanings behind them, and I want to make stuff that actually matters at the end of the day. You know, I don't want to be stuck just making edits forever. You know, I mean, I want there to be stories told, and I want to inspire people. If you can watch it and feel inspired, then that's really the end goal.
Yeah. Good ethos.
Go out and catch your dreams.
Yeah, quality. Yeah. Cool. Well, that wraps up the first episode in season 2 of the RSD Smash interviews. Many thanks to Max Rendall for coming along, or me coming to his house as it is. And we wish him all the best in the future. Cheers, Max.
Thank you for having me.
Cool.
Cheers.